Hi, my name is Joe Dimeo. I'm 24 years old. I live in New Jersey. The thing I want to put out there in the world is just positivity, to not let burns affect the way you live, and just keep moving on with your life and don't let other people let you down. So after high school, I didn't go to college. I wasn't a school guy. So I got a job in a lab. I moved out of my parents' house at 18 years old, and I was a very independent person, living on my own, had a full-time job, bought a muscle car, and basically living my life to the fullest at that point. When I was 18, I wasn't really, had huge goals in the future, just make money and, just do what I want at the time. Wasn't a huge travel guy, so basically just hung around with friends and just try to save up for a house. The day of the accident was just a normal day. Got home from work that night. I got 5 hours of sleep, which was pretty normal. Was normal for me. It was a night shift job, so that morning of the accident, I got off of work and basically fell asleep at the wheel, and I crashed. And the car flipped about 3 times, and I had to crawl out. It was a normal day for me. I went to the gym, hung out with my parents, and then, got my 5 hours of sleep. It's just, my body the buildup of that, my body just couldn't take it no more, and I fell asleep at the wheel. So I blacked out at the moment. I don't remember anything of the accident, only what people told me. And car flipped 3 times and landed on the roof of it. And a guy pulled me out halfway. I was in a coma for 3.5 months, and I woke up. I knew something was wrong, but I didn't know the full extent to it. And all the doctors said I looked good in the medical way, not like a physical way. So I thought I had all my normal features I used to have, but it turned out I was burnt 80% of my body. Yeah, my vehicle caught fire due to an oil leak in the transmission that cracked from hitting the curb. When I first woke up, it was really just like a daze. I felt like just like a haze over my head. Occupational therapy and physical therapy jumped in real quickly when I woke up, and so I didn't have any time to myself to think about anything. It was always someone in the room with me, either my parents or a nurse or a therapist, just working on me. They would ask me questions, but I couldn't really answer anything because I didn't know, and they wouldn't tell me. They would have to wait for the doctors to come in, and they don't really come in that often, only 5 o'clock in the morning. So the injuries I sustained were just 80% of my body was burnt. Nothing inside, nothing internal happened to me. I didn't break any bones. No smoke got into my lungs at the time. It was pretty a miracle. The doctor said that nothing happened to me inside, just the outside, just the skin. Nothing hurt at the time because they had me on a lot of medications and stuff, but everything was tight. Nothing moves like it used to move now, and just a lot of tightness around me. I didn't lose any eyesight. I just can't see small text messages right now. I do wear glasses sometimes if I bring them out, but not all the time. I had about 15 skin graft surgeries in the burn hospital alone. Yeah, so the burn surgeries were skin grafts, so they took the healthy skin I had left on my body and basically stretched it out like pizza dough. Was wrapped around my burn skin, and it just healed up over time. But then I get super tight on the skin graft areas, so I had to put a lot of lotion on it and massage it every day. So I was in a coma for 3.5 months, and then a month of just getting somewhat back on my feet, and then I spent 2 months in a rehab getting fully back on my feet. Out of the hospital, I saw a plastic surgeon, and he said there's nothing else he could do, but he knew Dr. Rodriguez did a face transplant before. He did 3 in the past, and then they're looking to do a face and a double hand transplant, and I fit the picture pretty good. After the transplant, I basically was I was disabled, and I basically couldn't do anything. I could, wash myself, brush my teeth, and, put pants and shirt on, but I couldn't put socks on, and I can't do anything small tasks. I couldn't cook or anything, so basically relied on my mom a lot. So after the accident, my future basically stopped. I was just thinking in the moment and not the future. Because I just laid on the couch all day long at my parents' house and that wasn't a life for me. I like to be out doing things, being independent, and not live in my parents' house. So I developed no long-term effects during the accident, which was a miracle in the doctor's eyes. It was basically just skin burns and nothing internally. It was super hard adjusting, going back into my parents' house because I had to follow their rules now, which, that was one of the reasons why I moved out of the house to get away from that. And so it was very hard, mentally, just laying on a couch alone, just bored out of your mind. Wasn't able to, just walk outside because wasn't physically able to do it too at that time too. There was a lot going on. It was hard. Just I like to be out and about doing things. But what I did to cope at living in my parents' house was, I played with my dog, Buster. He's a Boston Terrier, so he helped me out a lot. My mom really helped me out with like day-to-day things, and my dad helped me out with other things. My mom was like basically cooked for me, cleaned, did everything, and I'm thankful for that, but I would prefer to do it on my own. I had a couple of friends come visit me and take me out. One friend took me out to Chick-fil-A a lot. We're still cool today. Hung out for Halloween stuff. Yeah, got a good support system behind me. I didn't know about these kind of surgeries. The only face transplant I knew was the movie Face Off. It came out in the 90s, so that's the only thing I knew about that kind of thing. So the plastic surgeon I went to in New Jersey, he said there's nothing more he could do for me. So I had no more healthy skin like he could take from. And he recommended Dr. Rodriguez in New York. And I was pretty speechless at the time. It didn't really hit me till I got home. Whole car ride home, me and my parents didn't talk, which was like an awkward car ride home because they were pretty stunned too. But I said yes in the office because I didn't want to live like that no more. I was pretty up to it as soon as he mentioned it. My parents were pretty shocked by it. They want the best for me, and since I wanted it done right away, they just tagged along and said yes. I think my mom wouldn't have let me do it, but it wasn't her life. But agreed with me because that's what moms do. The ride home was a little bit awkward because it's never been done before, and like when it was done, it wasn't successful. There was a lot on my plate, but I just wanted to do it because I didn't want to stay at my parents' house the rest of my life. So the plastic surgeon in New Jersey mentioned face and hands, but he was more positive on the face part because that's what Dr. Rodriguez was known to do. When I met Dr. Rodriguez, he mentioned face and hands, and we all thought, oh, why don't we just do the hands first so I can get back to working again. But Dr. Rodriguez said you had to do both at the same time or there'll be complications. It didn't take too long for me to want the surgery. I want it right away. If I could have done it the next day, I would have, but I had to go through a lot of testing and stuff before that. I wanted to do it immediately, but my parents, they just went along with it because, they want me safe. And my dad wanted me home all the time because I'll be safer there than out and about again. My parents just want the best for me. So the process was long. I think it was about like 6 to 7 months long of just testing. Basically like x-rays, MRIs, a lot of blood testing, testing the muscles in my forearms and face to see if I still have it. I think that was the worst testing, is when they stuck a needle in my forearm and face and I had to move the muscle that they were trying to poke. I think that was the worst part, but all the other testings was pretty normal. They basically wanted to get like a full look on my insides and see if I was okay for the surgery, and I was perfect for it. About 6 to 7 months of just testing and for them to just figure things out, and I think I got on the transplant list in 8 months, and then it took a year to find a donor. The process that makes it long is it has to find the right blood type, skin color. For my surgery, I'm 6'1", so the guy has to be pretty big to match my bone density for my forearm to connect it. So that was I would take a longer process to find, especially a skin color too, because it's very hard to find the same skin color. Like this, the donor I had was like a perfect match. Some donors are like off by a couple of shades. I didn't care. I just wanted it done. So I never lost hope, and even during COVID, because it's the test, waiting for the donor, COVID happened too. So I never lost hope. My doctors, kept checking in with me to reassuring that, they're still looking, but they're not on a heavy search anymore. So I never lost hope. I still, looking on the bright side of things, and basically just keep them on moving forward. So I got that call August 12th, 2020. It was midday. I was laying with my dog. My mom was outside. Dad was out at a restaurant with his friends. And the doctor called me saying, we have a perfect match. If I didn't want to do it, if I didn't feel safe, I can call off anytime I want. So I wasn't pressured into doing the surgery. It was my choice. And basically just went outside, told my mom, we have to go to New York right now because the surgery's happening. My dad rushed home, picked us up, and we went to New York that day. Surgery happened the next morning. Basically, the leading up to the surgery, the day of the surgery, they put an IV in me. I just waited to the surgery, and they basically just took my face off, the donor face on, and they cut both my hands off, starting with the right one, because I'm right hand dominant, and they connected all the nerves and tendons, and it's a lot of stuff. Basically, it's all connected. Everything went perfectly. Now there's no complications, and he did it all in 23 hours. So it was from the same donor. It happened the same time, the same thing. Everything happened at the same time. They started with the face first, and then they started with the right hand and the left hand. There was good. I think my doctor said at least 80 people in the room. There's just a lot of people working on me. About 23 hours long, and then parents saw me at the 24th hour, just in case any complications happened to me in that hour. Well, the biggest risk was death, honestly. And then that's the only thing he really mentioned was death. Every time he saw me, he's like, this operation could, kill you on the table. And, he made that pretty clear to me. And then that didn't bother me. I wasn't a fearful person. But after the surgery, there's, I can get infections, and one of the other face and hand transplant person died in early 2000s, passed away of an infection. Basically, death and infections were the biggest fear in his eyes, but there was no fear in my eyes. As soon as I woke up, there was an occupational therapy in there working on me a lot. I had at least two occupational therapies on me all the time. Just a lot of hand workouts, and then PT came in, physical therapy came in, and to help me get up and stand up and get my legs working again. It's if you're laid out in bed for a good week, you lose a lot of muscle in your legs, and you get tired super fast. And I think that was the biggest task for me, was getting back up and walking again. It was pretty hard, but a lot of therapy after that. The face came somewhat quickly, and the hands, they're taking time. They're still taking time till to this day. So I'm still going to therapy for my hands now. But we did get a lot of results quickly because I was pretty determined on getting back to my independence. So my motivation really helped me to get back in the real world. I can eat. Everything works fine on my face now. Nothing stops me from anything. I can show some expressions like smiling and frowning, but it's due to the swelling. But once the swelling goes down, swelling takes a long time to come down, and that's just a long process because I'm on a lot of pills that side effects to the pills are swelling, so it's a back and forth game. Swelling is the biggest process. I'm still in recovery right now. Still go to therapy twice a week for occupational therapy and lymphatic drainage, which is to help the swelling. I go to occupational therapy once a week to get fine motor skills back, picking up small things and getting grip strength back and everything. I go to a gym now. I can pick up things, push and pull things, but opening up tight jars I can't do, and small things. Yeah, I'm pretty cautious right now. I wear a mask to crowded places. It's actually COVID. I have all my shots and stuff like that. I can get sick very easily right now, but I haven't been sick in about 2 years. I've been pretty safe, pretty cautious. I don't really do dumb stuff. I go in big crowds nowadays. Basically just keep my distance and wash my hands a lot and just keep clean. So my mental health was always good before the accident, during the accident, and after my transplant surgery. I've always had a pretty strong head on me, and so my mental health was always good throughout the time. I would say my dog helped me out a lot through those, everyone has a bad day, so my dog helped me out through those bad days. My mental health is still good. I was always looking at the positive things, and a lot of bad things out there, but there's a lot more good than there are bad in my eyes. My good mental health comes from my parents, I guess, because they always taught me not to think of bad things. Just always keep moving forward and just keep going on with your life, and don't always look at the past. Just keep looking on. So what I do now is my day-to-day is basically I go to the gym on certain days and go to occupational therapy on other days, and it depends on the day. On just a chill day, I tend to just write my book, writing in, hang out with my dog and stuff, but mostly just writing and just trying to get things done. It's just surprising, just like it's a unique story and just want people to hear it and just motivate people, because a lot of bad things are happening in the world, and my story can change a lot of people's how people see things. And if I can look at things so positive and on how I look, someone with with acne on their face can feel better about themselves. They can just enjoy the small things in life. A lot of people act, they look at me. They never had anyone like be disgusted at the way I look. But everyone stares. Staring doesn't really bother me, because I feel like if I saw someone that looked like me, I would look too. So staring doesn't bother me at all. Mostly kids stare, and I don't blame them. They have, they're still developing their brains. They would never see someone like this. So I don't really get bothered by people staring, because everyone's gonna stare anyways. A good day is going to the gym, getting everything I want done, grocery shopping. A bad day is when my hand would hurt, because sometimes my hands hurt once in a while. I don't stretch them out enough, they start to get tight and they hurt. You'll see that. My face doesn't hurt though, but sometimes my hands hurt. Well, when my story first came out, I had a lot of people follow me on social media, and then they would DM me saying I'm very inspirational to them, and how I'm so positive about things. And so I was like, well, there's something there, because I was just being me, and I guess I'm a positive person. So just be myself, and if I can just share my story. I definitely changed from a patient. Like, I have a lot more patience now on things, and I basically slowed down my life. I don't go out as much and do reckless things anymore, but basically slowed down, matured, and I've changed in that way, maturing. What I enjoy now is go on small hikes and stuff, seeing new places, traveling. For the future, I would say just finish my book. It's a longer process than I thought it would be, but finish that and live my life day by day at this point. The swelling will go down eventually, down to my bone structure. My doctor said 95% of my old face and 5% of the donor, because of the skin texture and tone. But basically I'll look like myself in the future. He doesn't know how long the swelling will go down. It just takes time. Like there's people at face transplants that's in 10 years out, and they still have a little bit more swelling to go down, and it's all time.